You're listening to Inside Insight, the podcast that dives into the latest innovations and strategies in manufacturing, distribution, and Dynamics 365 Business Central. Brought to you by InsightWorks, this show features our hosts, Ryan and Emma, as they bring you expert conversations, industry insights, and practical advice to help you stay ahead in this constantly evolving world.
All right, so if you're running a trade desk, or maybe a parts counter, you're probably always looking for ways to make those point of sale interactions, smoother, faster, more efficient.
Right. Definitely.
You want to streamline everything, but obviously without, losing accuracy or that connection to, all the rest of your business data. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, for a lot of folks, especially those already working within Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, there's a real opportunity to optimize those, front counter operations by just taking advantage of a system they've already got.
Yeah, you're already using it, so why not?
Exactly.
Today, we're diving into how you can actually use that existing Business Central setup to handle those counter sales really effectively and ditch the frustration of those separate POS systems that just, never seem to talk to your core business information,
Right. It's a pain point we hear a lot.
It is.
You've got your inventory data in one system, sales transactions in another, and trying to get a clear, unified view of how your business is actually doing well, that can be a real challenge.
It can be a nightmare.
Yeah.
So what we're exploring today is counter sales from InsightWorks. And I think the simplest way to look at this is it's like unlocking dedicated, point of sale functionality, right, within your existing Business Central environment.
Makes sense.
Now, this isn't, your basic, kind of run-of-the-mill retail POS system. This is a professional-grade tool really designed for businesses, like yours that need those really accurate high-volume transactions. And often with customers who have, specific needs, they know what they want.
Absolutely. And what's interesting here is how counter sales really kind of extends the reach of Business Central into these, direct sales interactions. That's what we really want to, unpack for everyone in this deep dive, how it achieves this and what those, actual day-to-day advantages are.
Okay, so let's get down to basics. Why choose counter sales? What's the core value proposition here for someone, running that trade desk or a parts counter?
The big one. The primary benefit, I would say, is the ability to handle those over-the-counter sales seamlessly, all within your existing Business Central system.
Okay.
This means you don't lose any visibility over crucial business data, inventory levels, pricing, full history of customer orders, financial picture. It's all right there.
It's all in one place. It's not just, kind of processing a transaction in isolation. It's connected to everything else.
That's exactly it. And with that integration, you get some pretty significant advantages. You get a clean way to enter sales orders, support for barcode scanning to speed things up, improve accuracy, integrated payment processing that handles, cash, credit cards, checks, customer deposits, all that good stuff.
And being able to actually track customer history, right there at the counter. I mean, that seems so valuable even for folks that are just, walking in off the street. Maybe they've never been there before.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, even for those one-off customers, being able to review past purchases, that gives you insights for future interactions, maybe informs, future inventory decisions, and it's all tied into end-of-day tasks like reconciling your cash drawer, making sure everything is connected to warehouse operations and fulfillment.
Makes sense. Now, someone working at a busy counter, they might find the full Business Central interface a little bit, clunky for those quick transactions. So how does counter sales streamline that day to day?
So that's where the counter sales processor activities dashboard comes in. It's essentially a focused workspace just for counter sales.
Okay.
They've got quick access to pending orders, easy to use sales wizards to guide them through each sale returns, any assigned tasks, any really efficient way to search for items.
Makes sense.
The goal is to minimize the steps to complete a sale, reduce errors, confusion, and ultimately provide faster service.
Fewer steps, faster service. That's huge. And speaking of speed, finding the right product quickly can be a challenge. Item names, descriptions, they can be all over the place. How does counter sales handle item search?
You bring up a good point. The enhanced item search in counter sales is designed to be really intuitive and intelligent. It uses keywords. So if a customer is asking for a heavy-duty blue widget, the system can probably find it, even if the official name is slightly different.
So you don't have to, be a master of product codes.
Exactly. It looks at the item description, extended notes, even attributes like size, color, material. But maybe even more important for someone at the counter, it shows real-time stock levels broken down by location.
Okay.
So immediately if that item's available at their counter or if it needs to come from somewhere else.
Right. So you're managing expectations right there and avoiding those, disappointing out-of-stock conversations.
Precisely.
Now let's talk payment. What options does counter sales support?
It's pretty adaptable to different preferences. The standard options are all there: cash, credit cards, checks. But it can also handle customer deposits for future orders and even split payments if someone wants to use multiple methods.
Okay. And what about the tech side of things? Does counter sales integrate with those, payment terminals?
So you've got flexibility there. If you want to stick with your existing terminals, you can process the payment externally and just record the details within counter sales.
Okay.
But for a smoother workflow, fewer errors, it also supports integrated payment processing, so you can connect your devices directly to Business Central.
Okay.
And that can include integration with receipt printers and cash drawer management.
Sounds very streamlined for both, the staff and the customer.
Right.
What if a customer just wants to check the price and availability of something before they commit to buying?
Well, there's a price check window just for that. They can quickly look up an item, and the system will display the current price, including any customer-specific pricing or discounts that might apply. It also shows the total on-hand inventory and the quantity available for sale.
And for that inventory availability, can you see where that inventory is? Like, is it at the main warehouse or is it right there at the counter?
You can see both the overall availability and the stock levels at designated My locations.
Okay.
And this is really helpful. There's a one-click option to create a new sales order right from the price check window if the customer decides, yep, I'll take it.
Really efficient. So once they're ready to buy, what's that process look like, creating and managing the sales order within counter sales?
It's designed to be really fast and easy to use. The Take Order Wizard guides the user through it. You can find existing customers by searching their name, phone number, or email.
Okay.
And if it's a new customer just making a one-time purchase, you can create a temporary contact record, not a full customer account, but it lets you record their purchase history just in case.
So you can start building that relationship, even if it's, a one-time thing.
Exactly. And for adding items to the order, you can use barcode scanning for speed or that intelligent keyword search we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay.
During order entry, it can even show a list of items that customer frequently buys. Great for upselling.
Nice little prompt right there.
It can suggest substitutes if something's out of stock, and you can record which sales rep is handling the transaction, usually with a simple passcode login.
And that passcode login, is that mostly for, tracking sales activity if you've got multiple people using the same terminal?
Exactly. The secure salesperson login tracks who processed each order, even on shared terminals. Just select your name, enter a passcode, and you're in.
Okay.
Gives you good data for sales performance and accountability without needing separate Business Central licenses for everyone.
Very efficient now. End of day cash reconciliation. That can be a time suck. How does counter sales help out there?
The cash register reconciliation worksheet makes it much more efficient. You can record starting and ending cash balances, break down cash by denomination bills, coins, and it keeps a running total of all cash payments.
Okay.
You can record any necessary adjustments, and those adjustments are automatically posted to the general ledger in Business Central. Creates a nice, clear audit trail, eliminates manual calculations and potential for errors.
Much better. So, we've covered a lot of features. What's the real, standout benefit of using counter sales compared to just trying to manage this in standard Business Central or a completely separate POS system?
I think it really comes down to the integration with Dynamics 365 Business Central. It's all right there.
Yeah.
You're not trying to sync data between platforms, manually exporting, importing, or dealing with complex middleware to connect everything. Your inventory, customer history, financial entries, it all lives within Business Central in real time.
So you've got a single source of truth for everything. No more data silos. So for someone listening who thinks this might be a good fit for their business, what are the key takeaways about counter sales?
So first, it's specifically designed for trade desks and parts counters. It's professional level functionality. The setup is quick and easy, usually guided by a wizard. You've got flexible options for payments and returns. It supports hardware like barcode scanners, cash drawers, receipt printers. And it has built-in features to drive revenue things like upselling prompts, lost sales tracking, and tools for managing price adjustments.
So for folks running those trade desks or parts counters looking for a streamlined, efficient, fully integrated way to handle their POS transactions, counter sales seems like a really strong solution that makes the most of Business Central.
Couldn't agree more. It removes the complexity and potential for errors that come with separate systems. You get a much more unified, real-time view of your business.
It's all about working smarter, not harder, right?
Yeah.
So think about all the time and resources you could save and the insights you could gain by really tapping into the power you already have in Business Central, exploring counter sales further. I think it's a really smart next step for optimizing those front counter operations.
Definitely worth a look.
Absolutely.